Great, welcome back. We're only halfway with Apostle Derek, where we are discussing the right way to raise children. And I love how he's breaking it down for us. And we had just mentioned the first stage, which is attachment stage between age 0 and 2, where I can attest, if you try to go and grab a child from the mom or the caregiver at that age, good luck. Good luck with that. So let's hear about the rest of the stages so that you can understand your child better and so that you're able to actually build the character that should be built so that they can be good men and women in the society. And also a reminder that we are parents, they don't belong to us, we're just custodians. Great.
Wow.
Pastor Derek,
Yeah.
so we were moving to stage 2 of parenting. So we've
Yes.
already covered 0 to 2 attachment
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
I have seen it. At ukienda kwa choo unasikia ka mkono kameingia hivi. Unashinda sasa huyu. You can't run away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When even you sleep, you find a child is holding you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe the first stage, I believe, is called the infancy.
Infancy.
Yeah, the infancy stage.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now those are the characters.
Yeah.
Then now you'll find out the description of faith.
Yes.
Is that the child has that attachment.
Yes.
I believe the second one, I believe, is more good because the second and the third
Yeah.
is the childhood stage.
Yes.
But the first one is
Yes.
the early childhood stage.
Yes. Yes.
And that one is between 2 to 5.
To 5.
Where
yes.
now I am there.
Yes,
I am.
explorer.
So that
Daddy, why? But why? So, why? Hey.
they have two characteristics
Yes.
among many.
Yes.
The first one is the one you are saying,
Yes.
full of curiosity.
Yes.
A child wants to learn anything.
Yes.
That is why you find a child at that time.
Yeah.
There is something in Kiswahili is called sabai.
Sabai.
Yeah, stinging needle.
Oh, yes.
That's why good. You will find even that one, as in a child loves so much to touch. Anything if is even a fire.
It's true.
A child will want even to touch the fire.
Then find out later.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
Even pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Na kuingiza vitu kama sikio na huku. Hey.
They are very curiosity because
Yeah.
at that stage, the character traits
Yes.
is that at that stage
Yes.
is where memory
Yes.
is starting now to
To
form.
form.
And the second thing
Yes.
is where thinking
Yes.
now starts.
Aha.
The child now starts to think
Yes. And reason.
and reason.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you find now the child, because actually one thing I usually quit at that place is that a mind of a child is like a software.
Very true.
It's like you have bought a new computer
Ni kuinstall
and the software
sasa.
is new.
It's true.
So where, and that is now where a parent should be very careful at this stage, is because this software can be installed anything.
It's true.
So if you leave this child and whatever will be installed is what the child will learn.
Yeah.
So when you leave a child maybe with a nanny and the nanny starts to teach this child something,
Yeah.
you will find now as this child grows, you see now the software is empty.
Yeah.
What you feed this child
Is what will manifest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, this child is very curious.
Yeah.
And the second thing, you will find that he's trustworthy. Mtoto ananga uongo.
Oh, it's true.
Katoto that child doesn't know how to lie.
Yeah.
If you ask, have you eaten sugar? Yes.
Yes, it's true.
Why? Because there she is very innocent.
Yeah.
So at that stage, that is where between 2 to 5, you must be very careful because the software is new. Anything you input in that software, it will
goes in.
Exactly. And that is why even the other kingdom of darkness, you will find the other kingdom of darkness, they take children at that age.
I agree. Yeah. Wow, now that you've mentioned it, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then you will find at that stage,
Yes.
if you are a parent and you want wisdom, at that stage, feed the child with the right thing.
Yes.
Because the software is new.
Yeah.
Be very careful with what the child is learning via songs.
Yes.
Be very careful with what the child hears and what the child sees.
Yes, the windows of the
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Why? Because the soul is empty.
Exactly.
You will find nowadays little children between even that age, even the songs they start to sing
Yeah.
is from what you have taught them.
It's true. Or what they hear.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So we must be very careful. And that is why you will find in other religion at that stage
Yes.
is where children are given even time to cram.
Yes.
They cram a certain
the prayers.
exactly their
Yes,
prayers and
yes,
everything.
Yes.
And that is where now the Bible says, teach your children. And that is the way now you will go. Because the software is empty. You will find now, like even the other religion like Quran, that is where even you will find even the reading competition. Hapo ndo unakuta hata mtu
Kweli.
anaanza kufidio na vitu very curious.
True.
Because the software is very new. So as a parent, during that time, because she is curious to learn everything, good. They are even in this era of ours. There's this thing called cartoons.
I have seen Cocomelon and the other ones, and you see a child running.
Good.
You're like, what is in this thing?
If you have learned in this generation, it has changed from our former generation.
Yes.
Our former generation, like you ladies, you went to play with the balls,
Very true.
the running,
Yes.
the outside things,
Yes.
the carrying the babies on your back.
Yes.
But this generation, they are so much wired with cartoons. And because of that, everything you watch carries a spirit behind.
It's true.
So demonic world have employed this.
Yes.
So there are some of the cartoons which children see, but those cartoons have originated from a different place, carrying a certain spirit behind it.
Exactly. It's programming your child, and as a parent you might even you will miss it. You will miss it. And even me, when I learned that, there's a day I was again, thank God for that very innocent age of not lying. So I was watching, I was in my dining table, I can see the kids watching. Then my son asked something. Ay, mommy, why does this boy look like a girl? I was like, hey, Ebu, pause, let me see. So I went and I looked. I couldn't see it. Me, I'm just seeing a cartoon. He explained it very well. It's like, no, you see, he's a boy down, and it's like, and it made sense. And I was like, oh, what they're doing is that that world is programming our children to get drawn into that dark world. Wow.
And that is why you will find nowadays, because because that is how the current children, that is how they are wired to those things. Mostly cartoon. One thing I wonder, like my child, where I was living before, no child who came with a cartoon, but automatically you will find the child wanting to watch cartoon. So it is like they are wired in that area. So now all of a sudden, as a parent, if you will not be careful, children will be initiated. There is where now initiation starts.
It's true.
And you will find at that place, if you will not be careful, what these children are watching, the things that are called Cocomelon, there are those that are good, but there are those that are demonic. And the problem is, most of us parents, we only download for them cartoon for them to be busy with cartoons for you to do something.
We don't double check.
But you don't concentrate on what this child is looking at. So after some time, this child will start to act weirdly. How? One, how that person, the child have seen physically. Two, the spirit behind that cartoon will start influencing this child.
Very true.
So now after some time, you will start to find this child, she is starting to start a certain character within that child, and you don't know where it has come from. Secondly, because of this, what this child is looking at consistently, you will find even the dream life. Have you ever seen maybe a child who watches cartoon oftenly of vampires? At night, the child can just wake up and say, "Hey, no," or even shout, or even just at the middle of the night, you will say, you'll start hearing the child talking like how the cartoon was. So if you will not be careful, even the child will enter even into hallucinations, even initiation, because the child now will be so spiritual that even his or her mind will now be taken. Now she will be acting spiritually through dreams and visions.
True.
And because now the child doesn't understand about dreams and visions, that is where now the demonic pattern will start.
Yeah. And indeed, and people, it's important to let people know that, you know, all this godly and the dark world, it's all spiritual.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So now at the end of the day, like me, personally, I'm the one whom I regulate what my child is watching.
Yes.
Because she loves watching cartoon. And one thing I've realized, when a child watches one cartoon, after that, she will click the one she finds next good. And then it will go to download.
Yeah.
When you open the bundles, the cartoon automatically will be. So you'll not know the kind of cartoons that are there. So to me, after some time, I will go to the phone, watch at the cartoons. And because now they want new ones. Like me now, I go even I download stories of David.
Exactly.
Bible stories.
Yes.
Songs.
Yes.
Spiritual songs.
Yeah.
So you'll find the child is singing the song she is hearing.
Yes.
So the child now becomes spiritual through cartoons.
Yes.
But if we will not be careful, and that is why you find the parenting nowadays, we should be very close.
Yes.
Because now, the world has shifted from analog to digital.
Very true.
And because now it has shifted to digital, most of our parents are most of analog. As in they don't so much.
Don't know.
Actually, let me give you a certain story.
Yes.
Someone close to me, let me not just mention who, but someone close to me,
Yes.
had a child. And this child started to watch those cartoons and the bundles were on. All of a sudden, because it is YouTube, there are those things that pop up.
Yes.
The adverts and everything.
Yeah.
So what popped up is the pornography.
Oh no.
So now the child started now to follow the pornography.
Oh no.
And even the child doesn't know.
It's true.
So all of a sudden, it will look weird. But because now maybe she was a male gender, when she sees a female gender, unapata ameanza kuact the way the child is seeing. Until you wonder, where has this child known these things?
Learned these things. Yeah.
Why? Because of what?
Yeah.
This child has started to follow.
Exactly.
That is now between 2 to 5, we must be very close to our children. And I believe, secondly, as we are coming out of that point, let us not leave only our children to nannies or to other people to take care of the children. Because I've realized at that age also, nannies, not all, but most of them, they will even start introducing the children into very weird things. Like how? A nanny maybe is a boy child. She changes her clothes in front of the child.
The child, yeah.
I know of someone like that.
Oh,
so
no.
the child now started to touch small other children. Why? Because of the weird things that the child is doing. And the mother was absent. When the mother realized, she had to chase that nanny away. But now at the end of the day, the child has that thing has entered into his mind. So even removing that thing, because you can't tell a small child, it is because her memory is not so much developed. You can't tell her doing that is bad, as in before you undo what
yeah, you might as well prevent, because like personally I have that policy. My kids won't come into my room just without knocking and checking. And even there are times, maybe if it's urgent, and I tell them, hey guys, I need privacy. It's like, Mommy, I need to tell you something real quick. You know? And that's why also, maybe just to add on that, it's good to also vet and pray for the people who are taking care of your children. Even schools, because like even personally, when I was looking for the schools that they attend, I needed it to have that background, a spiritual background, because these things are happening, and if you're ignorant, then tomorrow you just find your child is gone.
I love that, because even me, that is the first thing I checked a lot. Even the school, and actually the school I took up, you see, it is good just to share personal experience. I had to look because it carried the values.
Exactly.
So actually when I went there, I found the principal, the owner of the school, she is born again, an intercessor, the husband, and the teachers.
Amazing.
Surprisingly, when my child went there, all the songs they are singing
Yeah.
is Christianity.
And she knows a lot.
And she knows now all of you find now
Yeah.
when the child comes, she is singing what she heard in school. Until now, when the teacher understood that, the principal, she called me and told me, Pastor, I see your child is good. I wished I want to make you the pastor or the priest of this school.
Yeah.
So actually I go there once a month.
Yeah.
To do what? Just to declare
guide.
blessing to the
Exactly,
children.
yes.
The
we
entire
have,
school.
And we have the authority to
Yeah,
do so.
yeah.
Because like I said, we're just custodians.
Yes.
We have to return them.
Oh yes.
And we have to return them in. And God will ask, what did you do with what I gave you?
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right. Time is really moving.
My God.
So we can maybe
third.
recap the third until the sixth one, like real quick. Yeah.
I believe in that the faith is I believe the faith is called the loyal faith.
Yes.
The child is very loyal.
Yes.
So the third stage is the late childhood stage. So at that stage you will find now between 6 to 12 years. In between that that season, the child undergoes something called identification.
Yes. They start to learn who they are.
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
And then something called social exploitation. You'll find now she start now to know the relatives.
Yeah.
The people around her. So that is how now that child between 6 to 12 years, and that is why you find at that age, the child, if you are not staying maybe with the father, if you are a mother, you don't have the father. That is where the child starts to say, I want to know my father.
It's true.
Why? Because identification.
Yeah.
That child want to know where she has come from.
Yeah.
And if you will not joke, the child will take you.
Yeah.
The child will make you sweat to find
Exactly.
where the father is.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know where the father is, you have to produce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that is now the nini.
Yes.
And actually in that stage, the kind of faith is the modeled stage.
Modeled stage, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
the modeled stage.
So this is where you don't tell them what to do, but you do what they should be doing.
Oh, yes.
For instance, I was listening to a show just before I came here. It was about addiction. And the lady, she's a counselor, and she was saying, if you keep bottles of alcohol in the house, this child will know, yes, you need juice, ya daddy, or your grown-ups. But the truth is, you're somehow modeling to them, and they're always curious, like, what is that? That's why one day you go to work, unapata imesipiwa, imeongezwa maji, you know, and I've seen it happening even with my own relatives.
Wow,
So I think it's modeling and really carrying yourself in a way that you're setting a good example to your children. Okay.
And that is where now, that faith, I believe, is the faith where a child copies.
Yes.
And he usually copies what the uncle is doing, what the mother is doing. It's the copying faith.
Yes.
You'll find the child loves so much to copy.
Exactly.
That is why, at that stage, what you do, she will do.
It's true.
If you put makeup,
by the way,
it's the copying, copying faith. You see?
Yes.
The fourth one is the one that we now all know it. It's called the adolescent stage.
The adolescent stage,
which I believe is between the age of 13 to 23.
Yes.
That
23, I was an adolescent.
Or even 13 to, actually they are 20, 21.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because now there is where now that the child start now to understand herself. If it's a child, that is where now there is self-discovery. Okay. If now it's a lady, she will start now to grow. As in now the distinctive even of a lady and a man, that is where now, and the child now, if it's a lady, she start now to understand herself.
Yes.
And that is how now it happens.
Okay.
And then I believe from there, it is now another, from there, the faith that is there is the identity faith. When a person, if the child sees what the friend is doing, that person, that child want to do what this child is doing.
It's true.
Example, if you go to a school like that, when you ask if these children are born again, all of them, they will say they are born again.
True.
Why? Because
the friends are saying they're born again.
Yes.
Yeah, but in reality, they may not be born again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe now from there, we are now going to young adults.
Young adults, yes.
Yeah, the young adults. I believe that one is between the age from 22 there to around 34,
Yeah.
35.
Hey, I'm a young adult. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in that stage
Yes.
is where now a child
Yeah.
starts, a child want to practice independence. You find now the child want to detach from the father, from the parents. Now the child want to stay alone, to go into life
To make
alone.
a life on
Yes.
themselves and maybe start a family at that
Yeah.
time. Then now they start appreciating their parents more.
Good.
Okay.
And that is where, in the family context today, I wish even parents are hearing.
Yeah.
If a parent will not understand the stage of that child, most of the parents still believe this is my child, so she cannot come out of this home.
Thank you. I had just said it, we're just custodians. You should raise your children to release them to
Yes.
the world. Okay.
But most of the parents,
Yeah.
even my mother,
Yeah.
they don't believe you are grown up, that
It's
you can
true.
stay alone.
Yeah.
But between that age, that is where you will find rifts between parents and children, because a child wants
Wants
to
to
become independent,
become- exactly.
to go and hustle by herself.
Yeah.
But now the parent knows this is still a child,
Yeah.
and then because of the fear of what will this child do, maybe you are in reserve, the child want to go maybe to town to hustle by but now the parent is thinking logically, if this child will go to town, how will you survive so you have to find a job now to go to convince your
Yeah,
parents.
yeah.
So that is where there is a very big contention
Yeah.
between parents and children
Okay.
at that stage.
Okay.
But I wish the parents who are listening to me, if your child has reached that stage, because from there you will find now someone has finished campus, someone has finished maybe the college, and that person wants to go and hustle. But now the parent is saying, no, you are still a child. If this person even want to be married, you'll find now the parent is saying, no.
Move in here with your wife. Or yeah, I've seen it happening.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I know a father of very many children who still lives with his mother
Yes.
somewhere. Yeah,
Up to today.
up to today.
Good.
Yeah.
So there, it is where I believe parents and children,
Yeah.
actually mostly parents who are listening to me, just release your children
True.
and let them go and hustle.
Exactly.
Have faith that what you have trained them between 1 to 23,
Exactly.
it will work.
Yes.
Let them now go and hustle.
Yes.
The beauty of that is that
Yeah.
if anything comes, it fails, they will still come back.
Absolutely. And the truth is, if you're parenting an adult, it means you failed.
Yes.
One last thing, could you please remind people where to find you and if they want to get a hold of you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you can find me, I'm in Nairobi CBD, around Tomboya Street, almost Afia Center, in a building called Magomano, 4th floor. That is where we fellowship every Sunday from 9 to 1. If you need any kind of prayer, any kind of counseling, you can call this number 0727 57 31 13. 0727 57 31 13, and you can be helped.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Okay.
We really appreciate your time and the gems of wisdom. Indeed, this is why we have this show. You see, it's eggs and a nest.
Wow.
How do we take care of from that age? Our target is the young people.
Yes, yes,
and the
yes.
earlier you learn,
Wow.
the better you
Yes.
become,
Yes.
especially for young parents.
Yes.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
And karibu once
Asante.
again.
Asante.
All right, what a beautiful show. I hope that you've learned something today. I am also blown away because I feel like every day you learn something new, and it's a good thing that we were both, on the same level of understanding, and it's a blessing when I host a guest and they teach in a way that they do, and I feel really, really privileged to be sitting across my guests tonight. I hope you can reach us on Y254 should you have a story or anything that you can advise or give back to the youth. I've been your host, Maureen Waititu. Until next time, it's good night. Especially when my 6-year-old was 4. What? I even used to feel guilty. I used to sort of chapa him because he's crying, and he would pick the worst time and he would cry non-stop. Then I realized he's at an age where he can't express himself, and since he's a very high energy child, he could not, he gets tired faster. Okay, sorry, go ahead. 1 minute.